Hello, everyone, and a very warm welcome to the very first episode of Lingability. This podcast is aimed at intermediate learners of English, where we look at interesting topics and help you improve your English along the way. My name is Madeline, and I'm your host. As a little bit about me, I'm British, if you couldn't tell from my accent, and I also love languages. So I speak French, and I'm currently learning Spanish as well, which is a lot of fun. Today, we are going to be talking about something that affects us all, and that is sleep. Have you ever wondered why we sleep or how it affects our bodies and minds? Well, you are in the right place. Today's episode is inspired by a book that I read a few years ago called Why We Sleep by the scientist Matthew Walker. Now, this book was published in 2017, and I remember it was very popular at the time, so much so that it made the New York Times bestseller list, meaning that it sold very well. And the book itself is full of many useful details about the science of sleep, so I'm very excited to share some of them with you today. So let's get started. Let's start with the basics. Why do we sleep? Sleep is something we all need, but why is it so important? According to Matthew Walker, sleep is like a reset button for our bodies and brains. Imagine your brain as a computer. During the day, you're handling many tasks, maybe work, social media, learning, talking, and so on. But by the end of the day, your brain gets tired. And sleep helps to clear out these tasks and gives your brain a bit of a break. When we sleep, our brains process the information that we've learned during the day. This is called memory consolidation. And memory consolidation is a process where our brains organize and store memories so that we can remember them later. Sleep also helps to clear out toxins, and these are waste products that build up in our brains during the day. So, in short, sleep isn't just about resting. It's about repairing our bodies, clearing our minds, and making sure that we're ready for the next day. Did you know that sleep isn't just one long phase? In fact, sleep happens in multiple phases. There are two main types of sleep: REM sleep and non-REM sleep. That's REM, REM, an acronym that stands for rapid eye movement. Non-REM sleep is the first type we enter. It has 3 stages, each deeper than the last. The first stage is light sleep. This is where you're just falling asleep and it's easy to wake up. The second stage is deeper and your body starts to relax more. So your heart rate slows down and your body temperature drops. The third stage is the deepest and it's also the most restful. This is when your body does most of its repair work, like fixing muscles or strengthening your immune system. And your immune system is the system that helps you fight off illnesses. After non-REM sleep, we then enter REM sleep, which, as I said earlier, stands for rapid eye movement. During REM sleep, our eyes move quickly under our eyelids, which is why it's called REM sleep. This is also the stage when we dream. And REM sleep is important for our mental health and also our memory. And it's also the time when our brains are the most active, even though our bodies are completely relaxed. We cycle through these stages several times a night, which is why it's important to get enough sleep. If you wake up often during the night, you might not go through all the stages properly, which can make you feel tired the next day. So, how much sleep do we actually need? Matthew Walker and many other sleep experts agree that most adults need about 7 to 9 hours of sleep each night. But why is this the magic number? When we don't get enough sleep, our bodies and brains can't function properly. We might feel tired, moody, or find it hard to concentrate. Lack of sleep can also weaken our immune system, meaning that it's more likely that we get sick. In the long term, not getting enough sleep can lead to serious health problems like heart disease, diabetes, and even mental health issues like depression. One interesting point from Why We Sleep is that getting too little sleep, even just 1 hour less than we need, can have a big effect on our health. For example, when clocks are set forward by 1 hour each year for daylight saving time, we lose 1 hour of sleep. This change leads to an increase in heart attacks the next day. And I think that is just mad. But in the autumn, when we gain an hour of sleep, heart attack rates drop. And a similar pattern is seen with traffic accidents, which also decrease when we get an extra hour of sleep. And this just shows how important that extra hour can be. Now let's talk about how sleep affects learning. And this is especially important if you're learning a new language, like English. Remember how I mentioned memory consolidation earlier? Well, sleep is really important for learning new things. When you sleep, your brain organizes the new information that you've learned and makes connections between different ideas. And this is why it's a good idea to review what you've learned before bed. And your brain will then process it while you sleep, making it easier to remember the next day. Matthew Walker also points out that sleep helps with being creative. During REM sleep, your brain forms new connections and comes up with ideas that you might not think of while awake. So, if you're stuck on a problem or trying to come up with a new idea, getting a good night's sleep might just be what you need. Okay, so in this final section, we are going to discuss how you can get the best sleep possible. So I have some tips for you, and I think I could make use of some of these. Number 1, stick to a sleep schedule. Try to go to bed and wake up at the same time every day, even on weekends. And this helps regulate your body's internal clock, meaning that it keeps your body's internal clock regular. Number 2, create a relaxing bedtime routine. So, doing something calming before bed, like reading or taking a warm bath, can tell your body that it's time to sleep. Number 3, watch what you eat and drink. Avoid caffeine and heavy meals before bedtime, as these can keep you awake. Number 4, make your bedroom sleep-friendly. Keep your bedroom cool, dark, and quiet. And a comfortable mattress and pillow can also make a big difference. And finally, number 5, limit screen time before bed. And this is something that I definitely struggle with. So the blue light from phones and computers can make it harder to fall asleep, as it affects a substance in your body called melatonin, which helps you sleep. So try to turn off screens at least 1 hour before bedtime to help you sleep better. And that is it for today's episode of Lingability. I hope you found these points about the science of sleep as interesting as I did. Just remember, getting enough quality sleep is not just about feeling rested. It is essential for our health, learning, and overall well-being. If you found this episode helpful, I would encourage you to listen to it again. Re-listening or listening more than once is a great way to improve your understanding and learn more English each time. Thank you so much for joining me today. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, and you can find the transcript of this episode in the episode description. I will be back very soon with more interesting topics to help you on your English journey. Until then, sweet dreams and take care. Bye.